Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you guys are having a good day. We're back here in the jungle village and I'm starting to wind down a little bit on this project. The main reason being villager pathfinding is just wacky right now. It's a little bit weird. I've been making a couple more houses to try and figure out what the best situation is for villager housing, to give them something safe. I tried taking the doors off in case the doors were confusing them. I've tried making simpler houses with flatter walls, much as it pains the builder in me. And I was doing a bit of an A/B test here to see if they would prefer to go through a doorway that had a slab in front of it versus one that just had a full block. And to be honest, it really doesn't make all that much of a difference. So it's not pathfinding on slabs that's confusing them, it's just pathfinding in general. As far as I can tell, they seem to get stuck on corners quite a lot. And a little bit of further investigation has revealed that this does seem to be an issue with mob pathfinding right now in 1.14. Now, there is a potential fix coming in a future update. So I figured what I would probably do, while we're not sure about exactly when these updates are going to come out, is put the villager project on hold as far as their actual, accommodation goes, and instead focus on a problem a little bit bigger. We're going to try and figure out some way of utilizing the amount of iron golems that are spawning around the village, and believe me, there are a lot of iron golems, and a bunch of them seem to be hanging around the back of this house, and they have been for a while. And what we're going to do is set up a couple, probably because of how large this village area is, we're going to set up a couple of areas where these golems can be farmed. And brutal though it seems, after we've treated these villagers with such an idyllic pastoral lifestyle and mob-free existence, I feel like we need to do something about the iron golem problem, and killing them outright, like actually going up and swiping at them with a sword, will lower our reputation with the village. It will probably mean the golem aggroes on me and decides to kill me, because these are all naturally spawned golems and not player spawned golems. There are multitudes of dangers to be had, but the golems still need to go because they're causing chaos. So what I think we need to do is set up a couple of locations as far away from other village activities as possible, but still hopefully within aggro range of the golems, that they can find a mob to track to, a hostile mob, and more specifically, probably a hostile mob that would otherwise be a threat to villages. Now, I need to do a little bit of research off camera to see exactly what hostile mobs they will track, because if it's a zombie, then sure, iron golems will go towards it and villagers will run away from it. And the villagers running away might actually be a good thing, considering that we're going to have to trick the iron golem into falling into a pit. However, I would rather not scare these villagers more than I have to. So what I'm thinking is we'll catch a couple of mobs and we'll do a couple of tests to see if the golems aggro on them and track towards them. Because if they do, it's going to be simple enough at that stage. We just need to dig a pit, have some trapdoors that the golems will be tricked into walking over, and then have them fall into a trap with lava, much in the same way that they have done with other iron golem farms that we've designed. And then they will be disposed of. We can collect the iron into hoppers, and what we have here is a very low-yield iron farm. So for the purposes of simplicity, and because catching mobs in survival is a little bit more time-consuming, what I'm going to do is head over to a creative test world and see what golems are attracted to. Welcome to my creative test world, where there's not much going on in this direction. There's a lot more over there, but over here is where we're going to be carrying out our tests. Now, I've set it to nighttime so that zombies, if we spawn them, will not burn. Likewise, skeletons. Now, ideally, we want the mob that we've trapped to be something that golems aren't going to be attacked by in the process. So skeletons are probably out, even though I don't think they will attack golems just naturally, because skeletons don't seem to attack villagers either. Let's quickly test that, though, just out of curiosity. Yep, it turns out they do. Turns out they do attack iron golems. Interesting. Well, like we said, the golem taking a little bit of damage is probably not ideal. Even though it might soften them up a little bit for the lava drop, we don't want a situation where the skeleton can just field the iron golem away and kill it before it falls into the system. So probably not the best option. Same goes for pillagers, really, because iron golems will obviously track pillagers because they are a threat to the village in terms of raids, but pillagers will have those crossbows, which could potentially cause damage to the golems. I wonder if creepers are going to cause the same problem. It doesn't look like they are, and it's pretty sensible, to be honest, because anything attacking a creeper would cause the creeper to explode and could potentially cause damage to blocks. So having iron golems around a village with creepers spawning probably not a great idea, but in this case, since the golem is neutral towards the creeper, it's not going to be a big deal anyway. Personally, I'm curious about whether iron golems are hostile towards slime. And it looks like they are, which could be quite interesting for villager-friendly farms, because villagers themselves are not scared by slime, because slime doesn't naturally attack them. They will not run away from a slime, like so. See? That villager is completely neutral, but the iron golem is going ahead and attacking the slime. Now, considering we live near a swamp, that might be an option. You also get to see the golems chucking the slime around, but of course that's not going to happen because before the iron golem even reached the slime, it would be falling into a pit. But that would certainly be an option that didn't scare our friends the villagers too much. However, a concern about that is that then villagers would potentially wander into the same pit that would be killing the iron golems, and we do not want that to happen as part of their natural village roaming. So in theory, it would be better if we didn't use slime, although if we could cordon off the area and make sure that only iron golems could enter, slime would be a possibility and it wouldn't scare the villagers away from that location. I feel like the ideal candidate in these situations is going to be a zombie pigman, because we get a few of those through the nether portal quite regularly. They will scare off villagers, although this villager doesn't seem to be minding too much, so maybe that's been changed for 1.14? Interesting. But then, of course, a zombie is going to scare those villagers away from an area where the iron golems are going to be farmed. See, I was thinking that the zombie pigman might potentially scare villagers off, but not pose an actual physical threat to the villagers themselves. It looks like a zombie might be our best bet at this stage, because we don't want villagers wandering into the iron golem trap, but we want the iron golem to track towards whatever mob it is, while only being able to take melee attacks from said mob. So yeah, I'm thinking a zombie is going to be our best bet after all. And as a final test, I kind of want to see if this iron golem will attack a phantom. Yep, it will. That's pretty funny. They're a little bit slower than the phantoms though, so the phantom is literally leading this guy around in a circle because it doesn't have anything else to attack. Nice. I think what I'm going to do is set up an iron golem trap over here by this perimeter wall, probably in about this region, and then do the same on the opposite side behind this house over here, close enough to the fence that it's not going to interfere with the villagers' sleeping area, and of course we can move those beds away if we want to, but mostly so it takes care of the mess of iron golems that have started to congregate around this side of the house, either because they're drawn to the walls for pathfinding to mobs, or just because, for whatever reason, the quirk of their AI has led to them heading over here. So we'll need a few hoppers, we'll need a collection mechanism, we'll need a few buckets of lava, a few different things will be required for this to be a success, and I need to go and make some preparations. So I'm going to head back to Founder's Forge to grab some iron and some other things, and I will be right back. Alright, so far, this is the plan. Have a pit dug out 2 blocks wide, like so, and I hope that is enough for iron golems to fall on through. Set up some trapdoors, not like this. Set up some trapdoors like so, that the iron golem will think they can walk across, and then we'll just fall into the pit. I don't know if that step is even all that necessary, but I guess we will find out. And once the iron golem ends up dropping into there, have some hoppers below here with a lava blade above them, so that it will kill the iron golem and collect all the drops. Hopefully this is going to work out. I think I need to dig this a little bit deeper. I think I need it a couple of layers deeper, in fact, because we want to have the lava ideally at head height, so it has the smallest chance of destroying any iron drops that we get. So in theory, the iron golems being 3 blocks tall, the lava being about here, the hoppers are going to need to replace these blocks down here. And they're all going to output to a collection system that's probably just going to be a couple of chests. And we shouldn't see a huge amount of iron from this, if I'm being totally honest, because the village only generates 1 iron golem every so often, every kind of, I guess, maybe like, in terms of the day cycles, it's probably 1 every couple of days. And they have a chance to spawn 2 at a time, but that doesn't seem to be as common. It depends how the gossip level in the village is. So we're talking a layer of lava here, a layer of signs or fence gates or something to stop the lava from flowing downwards on this level, and on here we have hoppers. I think we can put this together. I have a bunch of hoppers in my redstone box right here, so we will be able to gather up a bunch of the iron drops if any fall in here. There are probably better ways of structuring this, and most of them probably rely on not having a village that's built this way in the first place. But I think for now, it's worth giving this a try. And naturally, I'm using way more hoppers than I need to here. This could just be a simple minecart track with a hopper minecart running around here, but considering I don't plan to use this as a permanent feature of this area, I think for now it will do. So all of the hoppers are going to be outputting to a chest, which we will place down here for the moment. And if I had a chest, I would do that. Anyway, let's get out of here for a second. And right now, one of the many concerns I have about this project is that the villagers are just going to get up and walk into this thing when morning comes. So for now, I'm just going to wall this off until we have a zombie in there that's going to dissuade the villagers from wandering straight into this pit filled with lava. Hopefully that should be good enough. There we go, the fence gates are all in, and I have a not-so-secret entrance down here that will lead down to the output chest for all of these hoppers. Now, fingers crossed, we can get a zombie in here and then fill the whole thing with lava and see if our iron golems react. Now, of course, the zombie is going to have to be enclosed in blocks over here, both to make sure that the sunlight doesn't hit it and so to make sure that the iron golems don't hit it. Now all we need to do is get a zombie from the surrounding swamp, and I think I might have trapped a bunch of mobs at spawn again, so bear with me while I relog. There we go. Instantly we have a couple of zombies. All right, now let's see if we can pull a fast one on these two guys, because they are coming up here pretty quickly. Let's see if we can block them in. No, guys, get this way. This way. Hello. Hi, zombie. All right, you've got a nice block there. You're not going to despawn. Fantastic. Need to block you in by placing that one there. Fantastic. We have a zombie. That was easy, wasn't it? Okay, he's probably going to be able to attack me through the corners, but for now, I can take care of this, close the fence back up, hop back over the wall, and unleash this area. Now let's see if the iron golems start to track towards him. They're probably going to have to wander over here naturally, and they're all sort of over by the center of the village right now, so that might take a little while. But some of these ones who are over here might start to spot our friend here in just a second, which means I probably need to get the lava in at this stage. Lava, go there! Let's see if we can pop one in each of the corners, and that should hopefully cover this entire area of fence gates. Just 4 buckets of lava for this one. Nothing too terrible. Oh, we've got one already, look. There we go. And he's just standing there. Nope, he's going in. Okay, he hit the zombie twice. And he seems to be bouncing up and down on top of the surface of the lava, but he's definitely going down. So, test number 1. We got an iron golem, but we also got a dead zombie. I think we need to make a couple of refinements to the design, but that's 5 iron I didn't have before. Once again, just to make sure that we don't end up killing the villagers, let's wall this off, because I feel like I can't trust the villagers to be around this when there is not a zombie in there. Okay, sun's going down again. Let's go for round 2. I've made the potentially deadly mistake of leaving the lava in there for now, so let's hope I don't run afoul of that at any point. I'll keep my fireworks on the bar just in case. Let's see if we can bag ourselves a zombie. While I'm here, I might also take the advantage of trying out the new quick draw enchantment that I put on this crossbow. Oh, that's actually pretty fast. That's not too bad. It's definitely not nearly as good as having a bow with a power enchantment, but you can fire pretty fast. I kind of like that. This is Quick Charge 3, by the way. This is the enchantment that I bought off one of my villagers before. Let's see if we can find a zombie, though, because all I'm seeing right now is skeletons. Okay, here's a likely candidate. We'll try and lure him back through the swamp over this way, and we'll see if there's any others spawning in the nearby vicinity. Doesn't look like it. I'm seeing a few creepers, but this zombie might be our only chance at this. So let's hope we can lure him in here. Let's hope I can escape the lava before too long. And bam, we got you, son. Nope, maybe we don't got you. There we go. Now we got you. Now we got you. Let's place a block behind you. Can you come a little further? There we go. Amazing. Now I have to get out of here without the zombie hitting me into the lava. Very good, very good. We're all professionals here. And now I have to seal the gate back up again, and hopefully this should work out pretty well. Let's pop down the scaffolding, hop over the wall, and take down this wall here, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the iron golems will be able to walk straight into the pit without damaging the zombie. Of course, that would rely pretty heavily on any of the iron golems actually being near the zombie, which right now they're not. Right now they're all on this side behind the house, but I think I would rather have this one over here as a test, just to make sure that the formula that I'm working with actually functions properly, and then we can build another one over here. This guy looks like he's on the way towards our zombie friend over here, so if I just give him a couple of nudges in the right direction. The range of their aggro is a little bit disappointing, though. I was kind of hoping he would spot the zombie from further away. There's a zombie right over there, my dude. Yeah, that's right. You see him. Okay, you're walking with purpose now. Give it a try. Let's see what you got. And... okay, they managed to get a hit on him. That's not great, but we could potentially widen out this pit and just switch to the hopper minecart version instead of having all of those hoppers down there. And I think we might be onto a winner. Okay, before we go any further, this is my next revision of the design. So I have a minecart track down here that's just propelling a hopper minecart around there. Definitely saves a little bit on iron, although we do have to put down some track and so forth. But once we layer a set of stone blocks or whatever floor we want to use on top of that, and then we can put the lava in, this should be a functional pit for the golems to fall in. Now, hopefully, they will still not be able to attack whatever zombie we manage to lure into there. I'm hoping that it's going to be slightly too far away. But of course, this means widening the radius of this. It shouldn't cause too much of a problem for the golems pathfinding, though, and I think we can make it work. So I'm going to lay in that floor, and then we'll try and lure another zombie in and see how we get on. Here, zombie, 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 zombie. I'm slightly worried about phantoms, by the way. I haven't slept for a few nights at this stage, but as long as we can get a zombie who is going to hold something or be name tagged, then that's ideal. Pick up those leaves. Do you mind? Maybe he's not going to work out then, because the other zombie we had in here before despawned because he wasn't holding anything. So there's every chance that... oh, there we go. We can trap this guy in here, and we can name tag him, and if he can't hold anything, I'm going to try throwing him some leaves again and see if he picks those up. Nope, doesn't look like he is. Oh well, never mind, we have ourselves a zombie at least. Now, the next step is to place in the lava. If we place the lava directly on top of some of these center fence gates, it should still flow out and fill the space. And now there is a zombie in here. Hopefully, we shouldn't see any villagers tracking over to this location. They will probably not pathfind anywhere near the zombie if they can help it. Okay, in theory, this should be a complete iron golem trap. Now, let's see if we can lure these guys over towards it a little bit. It's not gonna do a whole lot unless the zombies actually lure in the iron golems. So maybe we can encourage these guys to head over. Come on, buddy, you're so close. You're so close. There we go. Okay, let's see this time if he ends up hitting the zombie at all. And he's stuck on the edge because he can't pathfind over these trapdoors. Oh. Okay. So this is just going to be a staring contest now then. In you go. There we go. All right. Not the most elegant solution, I will admit. But I wonder if we put another layer of trapdoors around the outside, then that's going to work. I think the golems will still fall through it. I just wonder about whether or not they can see the zombie. And I really don't want the zombie to despawn at this stage. So I wonder if I can trade a name tag from one of my librarians. There we go, I've got a name tag. We should have enough iron here to make an anvil, so that won't be a problem. And let's close up these trapdoors so we can name tag this guy, alright. It's a good thing to see that the villagers are keeping their distance as well. This guy just wandered over a little bit, saw the zombie, and immediately noped right out of there. So, fingers crossed, it shouldn't affect the villagers too much, but we should start to see a couple of iron golems wandering over. I think we might also see a little bit of an increase if we move the meeting site, which I'd actually moved over here, back over to the swamp, because that tends to be where they make the iron golems if they happen to... oh dear. Ah. Well, it turns out the zombie is not scaring the villagers quite as much as I thought. If we want a silver lining there, I'm pretty sure that was an unemployed villager, because the rest of them are all hanging around their workstations, but that doesn't really give me a great deal of comfort that we just saw a villager die in there. Oh dear. Maybe back to the drawing board, ultimately, but I do want to see this if this thing actually works for trashing some of these iron golems over here. So let's try and get another one closer to it before we wrap the whole thing up. Alright, let's see if he ends up walking over the trapdoors, and nope, it looks like he isn't quite going to reach the zombie. So in theory, that works. Obviously, we need to try and make it a little bit less lethal to villagers. But in actual fact, that shouldn't be too bad. That's not terrible. I think what happens is the iron golems are actually walking across these at an angle. If we had it be like more of a force thing where they were walking into a tunnel straight on towards a zombie, that might not be as much of a problem. And that might also help to deter the villagers as well, but then of course, you're only allowing one area for the iron golem to walk over, and that kind of decreases your line of sight. So that's a concern as well, but in the meantime, 10 more iron and a poppy that I did not have before. So in theory, this is an iron farm. It's not a very good one. It's disastrous if a villager walks in, but they are going to breed more of them. But they are going to breed more villagers ultimately, and I think we can technically call this our first iron farm. A quick note for everybody who's been telling me to move iron golems around the village with leads, by the way. This is what happens when I get this guy close to the zombie. His pathfinding goes nuts, and he can't actually walk out over the trapdoors. He only does it if he does it entirely randomly. Then if I relog, if I save the world, go back to the title screen, reload the world, and then see what he does, you'll notice that he actually behaves exactly as you would expect him to. After a couple of seconds of the world loading in, he runs straight for the zombie and dies in the fire. Now, leads are a little bit broken as of the 1.14 update. I was testing this basically all day on the live stream that I did the other day, so I have tried this. In 1.14.1 pre-release 2, leads are still bugged out. So I don't recommend using leads to move iron golems around if you want them to behave normally. The best way to get this whole thing set up is to build it a lot closer to the meeting site where your villagers are going to be spawning iron golems. And with that said, you need to make sure it has a little bit of a radius next to it so that the villagers don't just like get incredibly frightened and not want to do anything when the zombie is nearby. So while it may not be an elegant solution because of how bad the iron golems are at detecting threats, and it's got a pretty substantial chance of killing one of our villagers as well because all mob pathfinding is the same, I think this has been a fun experiment, and this is the whole point of this whole area, is to experiment with the way villages work. I think if it was a smaller village and the iron golems were spawning around here instead of more commonly around the back of the house over there, this would be relatively effective, and I might build a couple more of them just to try out the possibility of getting more iron out of these and seeing if the villagers respawn them. But for now, I think that's going to be it for this episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.